I'm Miriam Joy and welcome to my studio. Today we're working on the Gourd Circle Christmas ornaments, and we're going to be doing different videos on showing you different ones, but we're starting out with the basics to show you what we're starting with. And we're going to take our circular saw and cut our pieces out of our gourd and then sand them down nice and flat on the back as well as we can. And what we decided to do, since a lot of you have a harder time making these, we've also done kits for you that are going to be available on my site. We're going to have a blue kit, and then we're also going to have a black kit for you as well. And what I used was leather pieces, leather strip, and leather backing, just so you can have a nice, crisp, clean ornament. And I'll explain the different materials as we're doing it as well, so if you have them at home that you can use your own. So let's get started. This is the Snowflake Twice Melted Christmas Ornaments, and this is my favorite one. I really like this one. I think it's a lot of fun, and it looks really, really wintry. This was a 3-inch, and this was a 2.5-inch gourd piece. And we're going to be using the Miriam Joy tools as well as the MJ stipple brush, and these are really good just to put the wax on nice and fast, and it's really amazing. And they are inexpensive enough that you don't worry about melting it out. You just have one per color. These are Crayola crayons. If you're new to my videos and you haven't seen it before, jump over to miriamjoy.com. There's a YouTube video link. You hit that and it takes you over to the first video that shows you how to do the process, showing you my tools and the melting pot and how to use the crayons. Isn't it amazing that that is just crayons? That's all that is, and it's so pretty. So we're going to start by putting on our colors, and I'm going to use some glitter crayons and some metallic crayons too as well today. And I forgot to warm up my brushes here. I usually pull my colors out and have them ready to go on my blues and my whites, so we're going to do that really quick here. And you get the brushes all warmed up and nice and pliable, and then you pick these colors up and you just put them on. There is no right or wrong. I'm going to do more lines in this than I am the other one, and probably it's better if you do the lighter color first. The reason is you don't pick up any of the other colors in it, but my brush wasn't quite ready yet on the white. See how when we come here it's going to pick up a little bit of that blue, but that's okay. And I'm going to put some up here as well. And when your brush is warm, put those all back down and let it cool, and then it won't be quite so scruffy looking there. I come in with a lighter blue. Alright, now we're going to add some fun glitter to this as well too. That's what really helps make it look even more wintry. So I'm going to heat up the white, and we're going to put a little bit of more coarse glitter on it. I've also got some octagon squares. I'm going to try and put a couple of those in here. But I'm just going to try to aim mostly for the white right now, not the other colors. And I'm just getting it melted. I'm not doing anything else to it because we want to come in here, and I'm going to have to do a section at a time there. Drying kind of fast on me. We're nice and cold right now. And you can put some fine glitter in this, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to put some of these bigger ones in the blue, I think. Just don't have your glitter underneath your heat gun. We're using a heat gun to warm it up with. I have it on a hanger. And I keep it about 3 to 4 inches right off. And I'm going to be using a tool, and we're going to run this through it just a little bit once it gets warm here. I'm going to start on the outside first because it takes the longest for it to melt. And I'm going to start heating my tool up. And once it starts to melt, if you don't want it wiggling around, pull it up and it'll still keep it warm. If you want it to wiggle more, then go ahead and keep it lower. But we've got to get this all runny here and get our heat warm, tool warm, and we're going to bring some lines through it. There is no right or wrong on this. This kind of gives it a snowflakey kind of feel to me anyway. This direction. I want to get that white going that way so you can see that white. All right, but doesn't that have a real winter feel to it? We're going to let this cool off just a second, and we're going to warm up our zero tool, and I'm going to be using white for the snowflakes and one of the darker blues. It doesn't matter which colors. And the reason you cool it off is because your wax is warm, and if you go right there on it with warm wax, with another warm wax, it's just going to smear and clump and make a mess. So I'm going to do my half of a snowflake right there on the dark blue with the white, and I'm using the large end. Now I'm going to go ahead and make it look like the other parts coming out there. And then I'm going to switch over to the zero end, the smallest of the two, and we're going to add some of these little arms. Each snowflake is different. It's just, God is amazing. I love snowflakes. My Christmas tree and everything is with the snowflakes. My daughter and I actually made them when she was a very little girl, and I couldn't believe how well she did. Okay, so we put those on, and then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to dot it at the end. And then we also want to do a blue one. And since this is mostly blue, I'm going to shoot for that area right there. And I'm probably going to go the darkest blue. Let's see if that's too, yeah, it's going to be too small. I'm going to go to the next size up. Remember, warm up your tools. It's winter time. They're cold. If you don't work well, they're not warm. They don't like to be cold. Warm them up in your wax. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in, I'm going to switch sizes, and I bring in little arms on the sides. Isn't that glitter pretty from the glitter crayons or the metallic crayons? It's really like them this time of year. The metallic has some great colors in it. Well, they both do, but okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put some dots just above these guys here. This would make a beautiful necklace too. There's some twice melted jewelry videos. Jump on over there and learn how to turn them into necklaces. But isn't that really, really pretty? I would have liked that a little bit more off-center, but if you hang it like that, that's okay. We might come in here and add just a third one just to make it a little bit more off-centered, to make it more pleasing to the eye. Just a real simple one. All right. Let's let him dry for a minute and then we'll come back and we'll finish him up. Now that our wax is cool, we're going to take our hobby knife and we're going to take off any wax on the sides. Remove all of that. Now it's going to be stained, so you're still going to be some color, so don't worry about that. We just want the wax off. Hopefully if you did it right, you shouldn't have a bunch of wax on there. Remember, if you don't like what you have and you melted it, just wipe it off and start all over. We're going to apply our Dimensional Magic. You can use a 3D lacquer on this, but I like the Mod Podge Dimensional Magic. It's a little bit thicker, a little bit more durable over time. I like the 3D lacquer more for the Christmas bulbs. I think it's a little bit thinner. The first thing I want to do that most of you might not know is kind of a trick that I have used for a long time. I take my brush and I wet it. And then I dry it out. There's a couple of reasons that we do that. Now it's more pliable. It's not hard and stiff. But not only that, is the Mod Podge doesn't have to absorb all the way in now, and it just works better. So I do that with a lot of things when I'm doing certain things. So it may be something to help you remember. Now, Mod Podge is made to go on jewelry and be nice and thick, and our gourds are always uneven, so we've got to apply it on with a brush, not just put it on and leave it. So the first thing I do is go around the edges, and I take my brush and I throw it at you, and we're going to get it up against the edges. Now you're not really pushing down, you're just spreading with your brush. Doing that nice and even all the way around. And wipe off anything that gets onto the edges. You want to keep those nice and clear. And then we're going to come back and we're going to pour more of that. Now if we did it like you normally would and just fill it in, it would run off. I think I need just a tad bit more. So what we're actually doing with our brush, and you want a brush that is not coarse, you're just kind of moving it around and applying it more evenly to the piece. You shouldn't be able to see your brush strokes. If you can see your brush strokes, you don't have it on thick enough, and you do not want to over apply it. Once you put it on, you should just be able to see them kind of settle down. And I like to do 2 to 3 coats, and I'm going to set it on my dry board to dry. We do have dry boards in stock now. Clean off my Dimensional Magic and put that away. Once your Dimensional Magic is dry, you're going to see this really beautiful shine. See how it go from dull to shine? It just really brings out the color and just really does so much for it. And the Dimensional Magic is really great to work with, and we do sell that on our website. So now that we've done our Dimensional Magic, we're going to come in here and we're going to paint our edges with black acrylic paint. Black is a great background color. It helps take things backwards that you don't want to show and sets the front forward. And I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to do the edges because I'm going to put my leather piece on. Now if you don't have a leather piece, you can just paint this black. That's okay. Whatever you want to do. And the other thing I do is once you've got that black on there, just come back in and with a damp paper towel, we're going to remove the black just along the edges where it doesn't belong. If you got any up there, like I always do. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. And once that's dry, keep your fingerprints and everything off of this and your glue. That's kind of fun. We're going to decide. I'm going to come back in and get that all off in a minute here. Which way to hang this? And I'm going to kind of hang it like that because it almost looks like a Christmas tree right there. So I'm going to put my leather piece around my gourd first, and I'm using my big bottle of tacky glue that my husband got for me. I need to get my little teeny tiny ones that we have for sale on our website. I don't know where mine is right now, but they're little tiny handy sizes and they're really, really nice. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and put our leather strip on. Now, you want to put that on nice and tight all the way around. And then we're going to bring it up to the top. And I don't want those overlapping, but I do want them right where I'm going to push my hole. And you want the front of this just even with your gourd piece. You don't want it set back. Now your gourd isn't even, so you want this towards the front, not towards the back. So it's all nice and even on the front. And I'm going to take my little scissors here, and I'm going to cut this right where they touch. You don't want to leave a hole there. Alright, and then I'm going to take my bead reamer, and I'm going to go right in the middle of there. And the bead reamer is another item that we started carrying at Miriam Joy because I've been working with it so much. And I'm going to take my screw eye, smallest one I could find, and I'm going to add just a tad of tacky glue to it. Now the reason that we put the leather strap on first, the leather strip, instead of last, is it gives us a little bit more stability for our screw eye here. Gives it more to hold on to. Screw that in. Now when I poked my hole, I only poked it just so I could get it started, only about halfway down. We don't want it to go too far. And when you're tightening it, you don't want to strip it. You want to go to a certain place and kind of stop. And you guys, if you've seen the jewelry ones, I will also put the sequin pins in place right there to hold that leather piece in place. Now again, I'm going to come in here and clean up the mess I've made. And you can let it dry in between too. You don't have to do it like I did because I'm just trying to get you all the way down here. But not really pretty. Just can't believe that they're crayons. That's so much fun. Alright, now we're going to take our cording or whatever you want to hang it on, and we're going to go through our screw eye, and we're going to do one knot up here. And you can add bows to these. I have some little holly that I might want to put on my holly one. Little bows, whatever you wanted to do to make it nice and fun would be really, really pretty as well. So that's how we kind of finish them off. Now let's go back and let's get our back piece on if you want it. Now, one of the nice things is this is kind of fuzzy, and I like this, and I think it looks really nice, and I think it would feel good for jewelry, but it gets a little bit dirty faster. And also, if you did it where the other part, you can write on it. And I wrote on one of them, and I put like Merry Christmas, Miriam Joy 2013. So that's something you might want to think about too, which side of the leather piece that you may want to use. And I really like the leather instead of material because it is a little bit stretchy. So if I'm shorter on one area, I can pull it out and put it in. To get the circle, I just take it on my leather and I take my white charcoal pencil and just trace around my piece and then cut on the white inside. If any of it sticks out, just take your little scissors and trim it off. But then you have a very professional looking piece, very nice piece that you can give to other people for Christmas. And that looks very professionally done. Now see how the glue got into the fuzzy side, and that's what I was talking about. But we do have the kits available for you. We do have the 3-inch and the 2.5 inch and the blue and the black, just to make it simple for you this holiday season. And that is how we do our twice melted circular Christmas ornaments. If you have any questions about these at all, please email me at art@miriamjoy.com. Jump over and just see all the wonderful YouTube videos we're doing for you this holiday season. Merry Christmas and God bless.